The security track in the School of Public Policy offers students the opportunity to engage in some of the most complex and salient national, regional and international debates, and this is around the issue of security policy. We start the study of security by asking the most fundamental question, which is whose security? And in particular, what we aim to do with our students is to get them to understand and engage with how issues become problems. How, for example, issues around migration, drug policy, a whole raft of different issues, the environment, is defined by certain policy actors as a problem and becomes then problematized as a security strategy, when in a number of cases, and most usually these are actually topics of development, they relate to marginalization, to poverty, to exclusion, and yet somehow they come to be defined as a security issue. And this is what we really encourage our students to do, is to engage with how these topics and issues become problematized, and why in particular they're problematized as security problems. The security specialization has a particular focus which is on the nature of human security, which means to say that we're no longer simply understanding security as conflict between states, but we're trying to create a world and a national and international community where we're addressing basic fears, wants and needs and rights. In particular, the focus of our specialization here in the School of Public Policy is on trying to engage our students in the methods and the toolkits and the approaches which are absolutely fundamental to adequately and appropriately understand the nature of security risks and challenges today. And what this means for our students is actually engaging with those communities that are most impacted by insecurity, by fear and by the threat and risk of violence. Our courses cover a whole range of options. Thematically, we look at terrorism, we look at security sector reform, we look at conflict analysis, we look at war and peace in certain regional contexts. We also particularly look at gender. We have a very passionate interest in protecting and defending and promoting not just the rights of women and men and their security needs and interests, which are very, very differentiated and very rarely analysed as gender sensitive in terms of conflict and security approaches. But we're also fundamentally about promoting rights-based responses to key security questions. So we look thematically, and many of our courses focus on gender, security, violence, all of these different aspects here. But what we also have is a national and international focus. We look at specific countries. Haiti is a particular focus for us. We use Haiti as a case study of all of the problems and failures and limitations and challenges of addressing problems of security and insecurity. We also look at Syria. We have the Shattuck Centre, the CCNR, the Centre for Conflict Negotiation and Recovery, which has a very strong focus on Syria and the challenges and problems of Syria and the conflicts in that country and post-conflict reconstruction. I personally work on South and Central America, an area of very, very high violence. It's not exactly defined as a war zone, but this is one of the world's leading centres for murder and homicide. So through these case studies, through these thematic approaches, through the country and regional approaches, what we're able to do is guide our students towards better understanding the drivers of insecurity in the contemporary world and how these can be best addressed from a rights-based perspective. What kind of students study our specialisation in security? Well, overwhelmingly we have a diversity of students, and the key thing to emphasise here is that our specialisations, our different tracks within the school really overlap. So it's very difficult just to focus on security without having a very good grounded understanding of broader policy debates, development, governance, these other issues and courses that we offer within the school. But overwhelmingly our students who do follow security have a range of ideas and interests where they want to develop their work further. Some of our students go on because they're working with their national governments and they want to ensure that their national governments have more responsive policies in terms of security. And we also have students who are engaged in advocacy, whether this is about the security of the LGBT community, the Roma community, or whether this is working around issues of gender violence. So our course isn't just about conflict, and security isn't just about conflict. This is about the insecurity that all communities feel, but which is very, very rarely properly understood because very few people have the appropriate tools and methods to engage with some of the most marginalised communities in our societies.